A loud, shattering sound of glass erupts in a dimly lit penthouse suite overlooking the city skyline. At the center stands Valerie Drake, eyes wide with stunned disbelief, her trembling hands still clenching a crystal tumbler. Shards of glass glitter at her feet like cruel confetti. Across the room, Nicholas Drake, her billionaire husband, holds a phone that just displayed a damning photo, him locked in a passionate embrace with a woman half his age. The device is still lit, revealing their midnight rendezvous. Valerie's voice cracks. Who is she? No prelude, no gentle lead-in. She flings the question through ragged breaths, more a plea than an accusation. Nicholas opens his mouth to protest, but no words come. The tension in the room could snap steel. For a moment, the only sound is the distant hum of city traffic far below. An imposing bodyguard, hired through Nicholas's security detail, stands silently near the door, unsure if he should intervene. He's seen arguments before, but nothing like this. Valerie's anguish laces the air with a raw, volatile electricity. Nicholas stiffens, instincts telling him to regain control. He steps toward her, but she recoils. Valerie's pregnant belly, just starting to show, underscores the betrayal. She places a protective hand there, as though shielding her unborn child from the emotional onslaught. "We have a baby on the way," she whispers, voice trembling with heartbreak. "Why would you do this now?" Nicholas has no immediate answer. His typical boardroom confidence falters. He's used to negotiation tables, corporate takeovers, and making deals with the flick of his pen. But this confrontation is different. There's no contract to sign, no escape clause. His eyes dart to the swirling, spectacular view of the city through the floor-to-ceiling windows, searching for some anchor. He steels himself, trying to muster logic. "Valerie, it's not what you think," he begins. But the pictures on his phone paint a definitive truth. She can see the timestamps. She can see him smiling in those photos, arms around someone else. "Then tell me what it is," she challenges, voice sharper now. Her question lands with a sickening finality, as if both know there's no good explanation. At that instant, a phone buzzes again and an incoming text on Nicholas's device. Valerie's eyes burn as she sees the contact name C. Davenport. Her gaze rises, meeting Nicholas's in a silent, furious exchange. With the same unstoppable rage that made her throw the crystal tumbler, she storms past him, tears tumbling down her cheeks. He reaches out to grab her arm, but she jerks away and strides toward the door. The bodyguard steps aside, uncertain how to help. She pauses at the threshold, back turned, voice shaking. "You have no idea what I've sacrificed for you, Nicholas, for us." Hard cut, no explanation, only the lingering echo of her sob and the glint of shattered glass. It's the next morning. Valerie sits alone on a leather couch in the corner of the opulent living room, staring blankly at an untouched cup of coffee. She looks almost out of place in the grandeur of Nicholas's penthouse, a fortress of success and wealth that towers above the city. Despite the sumptuous decor, a bitter chill pervades the atmosphere. A silent observer is present, Oliver Bennett, Nicholas's personal attorney. His demeanor is restrained, but his eyes flicker with concern each time he glances at Valerie. He's been summoned here for damage control, but the reality is more personal than legal. He knows the power dynamics at play. She hears Nicholas speaking on the phone in a nearby room. His tone is hushed, urgent, something about sorting it out, misunderstanding, and not wanting anything leaked to the media. Valerie's hand tightens around her coffee mug. The baby shifts within her, a delicate reminder of what's at stake. Flashback images flutter through her mind. The charity gala where she'd first caught a glimpse of Christina Davenport, the brilliant young marketing executive Nicholas had praised. That was 6 months ago. Valerie had been so proud, telling everyone about her husband's philanthropic ambitions, never suspecting that was the night sparks might have ignited between Nicholas and his future mistress. Oliver clears his throat gently. "Valerie, I'm here if you need anything, legally speaking, or otherwise." His voice is soft. Though he primarily represents Nicholas, He has always shown Valerie kindness. Her eyes flicker with unshed tears. "What I need," she replies, "is the truth." A humorless smile touches her lips, but I'm guessing that's more than even you can guarantee. Oliver stands and paces to the window. Nicholas has his methods. But I never thought he would. He stops, searching for a delicate way to address the affair. Instead, he changes direction. "You're pregnant. Valerie, you have to put your health first." She sets the mug down and stands, drawing in a shaky breath. My health. My health depends on a husband who doesn't lie, who doesn't betray me when I need his support the most. In her mind, images flood in the ultrasound appointment. The baby's heartbeat, how Nicholas had been there, promising they'd always do what's best for their child. From the adjacent room, Nicholas's voice rises briefly. Valerie's posture stiffens. She can't shake the sense that he's trying to manage her as he would an unhappy shareholder. The entire situation reeks of injustice. She's the one who's been wronged, yet she's the one feeling isolated, cornered in her own home. Oliver glances at her, a flicker of empathy in his gaze. "I know you're hurting," he says. "Maybe you should take a step back. Think about your options. If you need me, I'll represent your interests." 2. Her heart twists. She wants to believe there's hope. She wants to believe Nicholas will admit his fault, cut ties with Christina, and refocus on their family. But a dark whisper reminds her men like Nicholas Drake rarely relinquish control. As Nicholas hangs up, his phone buzzes again, a meeting alert for a dinner reservation at a private club. Valerie notices the time, the place. She wonders if it's purely business or another lie. A spark of quiet resolve lights in her eyes. She won't stay silent forever. 3 days pass in strained silence. The injustice she feels has only intensified. Valerie tries to maintain normalcy, but her mind is a storm of questions and self-doubt. Every room in the penthouse, every artifact of their shared life, reminds her of promises that now feel hollow. She stands in front of a massive painting Nicholas once bought at a charity auction, telling her, "This will be part of our legacy." Legacy. The word drips with irony. If he's building a legacy, it clearly includes secrets and betrayals. A conversation with her best friend, Serena Wolf, replays in her head. Serena had been visiting from out of town. Noticing Valerie's anxious glances at her phone. "You're not yourself," Serena had said gently, pressing for details. Valerie had deflected, refusing to tarnish Nicholas's image. She'd always tried to protect him. Now she wonders if that loyalty was misplaced. Late one evening, Nicholas approaches her in the hallway. He seems contrite. "Val, about that night," he starts, voice low. She braces herself for an apology, a confession, anything real. Instead, he says, "I don't want my name dragged through the tabloids. I've built a reputation. And if rumors start," a stunned laugh escapes her lips, "this is about your reputation. We are married, Nicholas. We're having a child, for God's sake. And you're worried about press coverage?" He runs a hand through his hair. His typical boardroom bravado appears rusted. "I can't undo what happened. But let's be rational. I've spoken to Oliver. We can handle this quietly. I'll manage a settlement with her. I promise it won't affect us." Valerie's voice shakes with anger. "A settlement? You plan to pay her off like some hush contract, and you think that fixes our marriage?" She can almost taste the bitterness on her tongue. "Do you even love me anymore?" He looks at her, eyes flickering with conflict. For a moment, he almost looks vulnerable. "Valerie, it's complicated. You know how much pressure I'm under. Investors, projects overseas. Sometimes I just..." His voice tapers off. She realizes he's giving her half-truths. He might not even know how to be honest anymore. That's the real injury. Beyond the affair, the knowledge that he cares more about controlling the narrative than repairing the damage. He tries to touch her shoulder. She steps away. "You're the father of my child," she whispers. "You owe me real honesty, not damage control." Nicholas's eyes fill with an unspoken fear. Fear of losing everything he's built. Or fear of losing her. She can't tell. I'll fix this, he says quietly, but his tone lacks conviction. As he retreats, the penthouse falls silent again. Valerie remains, arms wrapped around herself, grappling with the injustice of feeling trapped by his lies. She glances down at her Barlow. The baby flutters, a reminder of innocence amid this turmoil. She whispers, "I won't let him drag us both into darkness." Valerie decides she can't move forward without understanding the roots of Nicholas's behavior. She arranges a discreet meeting with someone who knows him better than most Harmon Drake. Nicholas is a estranged younger brother. Harmon's presence in the family is an open secret. He left the corporation years ago after a bitter rift. They meet at an upscale cafe near the waterfront. Valerie watches Harmon from across a marble table, late 30s. Weary eyes, yet there's a quiet warmth he extends to her. He sips his coffee, studying her face. "I was surprised you called," he admits. "Nicholas and I, well, we haven't spoken in years." She leans in, voice trembling with urgency. "Please, Harmon, I need to know who Nicholas really is, where all this deception is coming from." She explains the affair briefly, the phone messages, and Nicholas's callous handling of it. Harmon sets down his cup, exhaling deeply. "I'm not shocked. Nicholas learned early that control is everything. Our father was brutal. If you weren't succeeding, if you showed any weakness, you were worthless in his eyes. Nicholas thrived in that environment. He learned to hide any flaw, to pretend perfection, to never let anyone see the cracks." Valerie's lips tighten. She recalls fleeting mentions of a harsh upbringing, but Nicholas rarely talked about it. "That doesn't excuse him hurting others," she says. "He's not a child anymore." Harmon nods, gaze full of regret. "I'm not making excuses, but you asked for the roots. Nicholas always believed love was conditional. Father used to pit us against each other, awarding the child who brought the best grades or the biggest achievement. Nicholas turned into a performer. He'd do anything to maintain an image. He hated being vulnerable." The revelation weighs on Valerie. She imagines Nicholas as a young boy, desperate for approval. She sees how that might lead a man to cover mistakes at all costs, to manipulate or lie if it means preserving his polished exterior. Still, knowing doesn't remove her pain, so he's locked in a cycle. She murmurs, "And I'm collateral damage." Harmon hesitates. "Valerie, I'm not telling you to forgive him outright. I'm telling you, watch out. If he feels cornered, he'll do whatever it takes to protect his empire, even if that means he trails off." Letting the implication hang, a chill slithers down her spine. "Even if that means silencing me or painting me as unstable," she whispers. Harmon doesn't confirm, but his eyes do. She finishes her coffee and thanks him, heart pounding with a new understanding. Nicholas's hidden past didn't just shape him, it's now shaping her life, her future, and their unborn child's fate. As she stands to leave, Harmon gently catches her hand. "Be careful," he says, voice somber. "Nicholas has a darker side you might not have seen yet. If he thinks he's losing everything, he won't go down quietly." Valerie realizes Nicholas's betrayal is part of a bigger pattern. She sees the man she married in a new, unsettling light. Armed with what she's learned, Valerie returns to the penthouse with a swirl of conflicting emotions: compassion for the wounded child Nicholas once was, and apprehension about the ruthless man he might become. She steps inside, finding Nicholas seated at the grand piano, playing a slow, somber melody. He looks up, surprised to see her. She steels herself. "I met with Harmon," she announces. Immediately, a flicker of anger and betrayal crosses Nicholas's face. He slams the piano lid shut. "You had no right." Valerie stands her ground, hands trembling, but posture firm. "I had every right. I deserve the truth about the man who's supposed to be my husband." He pushes to his feet, jaw clenched. "Harmon hates me. He'll twist any story to paint me as a monster." She steps closer, voice quiet but resolute. "I know your father abused you too. I know the pressures you faced growing up in that house. And I'm sorry, but Nicholas, we're adults now. We make choices. Cheating on me, Lying to me. That's on you. His eyes storm with conflicting emotions. For a moment, it looks like he wants to break down, to confess everything. Instead, he reverts to familiar patterns. You're pregnant. You should be resting, not chasing conspiracies or listening to Harmon's lies. Don't you see how this stress endangers our child? She flinches. He's turning her pregnancy into a shield for himself. I'm not the one endangering anything, she says, voice trembling with contained fury. Your affair did that. Your deception did that. He closes the distance between them, voice dropping. You have no idea what deals I'm managing behind the scenes. Investors want confidence. If a scandal hits, everything collapses. Our entire future. His hands grip her shoulders firmly, not violently, but with a desperate intensity. She stares up at him, tears stinging her eyes. And what about my future? Our marriage's future? Or is everything just a business arrangement to you? He releases her abruptly and turns away, pacing across the marble floor. I can't afford a meltdown. Valerie, I have to handle this discreetly. Christina and I look. It was a mistake, but I need time to manage the fallout without destroying the company. She exhales a shaky breath. So I'm just supposed to smile for the cameras, pretend none of this happened, while you orchestrate some hush-hush strategy. His silence answers. That's exactly what he wants. Valerie's heart twists, a pang of sorrow for the brokenness that drives him, but also a surge of anger that he'd reduce her worth to a role in his PR narrative. I refuse to be a silent pawn, she says. If you won't protect this family with honesty, I will protect myself and our child from your lies. She sees him fully now, the ruthless CEO, shaped by a dark past, clinging to his empire at any cost. She steels herself for the next stage, knowing she can't simply rely on moral pleas. She must be ready for a fight. The tension snaps one morning when Valerie comes downstairs to find Christina Davenport, the very mistress, calmly sipping tea in the penthouse living area. Nicholas stands nearby, expression taut. He's dressed in a crisp suit, phone in hand, as if this is a routine business meeting. Valerie's breath catches in her throat. What is she doing here? Her voice trembles with shock and outrage. She never imagined Nicholas would be brazen enough to bring Christina into their home. Nicholas gestures to calm her. Valerie, please, this isn't what it looks like. Christina and I have urgent matters to discuss regarding a major marketing campaign. His tone is clipped, artificially businesslike. Christina sets her teacup down with poised composure. We can finalize details at the office, but Nicholas insisted on an early morning briefing. She casts Valerie a glance of mild pity or guilt. Valerie can't tell which. Valerie's sense of betrayal intensifies, not just from the affair, but from this blatant encroachment on her personal space. It's a final straw. She feels a dizzying wave of nausea and betrayal crashing over her. Her voice breaks. You let her in here, into our home, while I'm upstairs pregnant with your child. Nicholas steps forward, reaching for her arm. I tried to keep it professional. We needed privacy from the paparazzi at the office. Val, you have to trust me. This is purely business now. She jerks away. You expect me to trust you after you lied and cheated? Her tears spill freely. She's never felt so powerless. The baby stirs within her, and a sharp pang of stress grips her abdomen. Christina stands. Maybe I should go, she offers with a careful tone. Nicholas nods, relieved. As she gathers her briefcase, she mumbles, Valerie, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. Then she slips out, leaving the echo of her footsteps in the hallway. Nicholas tries to guide Valerie to the couch, urging her to sit. She collapses into the cushions, pressing a hand to her forehead. Anger, sorrow, and a raw sense of humiliation swirl inside her. Get out, she hisses. He hesitates, guilt flashing across his face. Val, let's talk. Let me explain. She raises her voice, surprising them both with its intensity. I said get out for once. Respect my boundary. Something in her tone makes him comply. He steps back, eyes lingering on her anguished expression. then silently leaves. The front door closes behind him with a heavy thud. Valerie exhales, face pale. Her entire world feels like it's collapsing around her. She's physically shaking, the heartbreak ripping through her. In that moment, she has no illusions her marriage is broken, perhaps beyond repair. She's losing not just Nicholas's loyalty, but the sense of security she once had. In this darkest moment, a flicker of resolve appears. She won't let this crush her completely. She wipes her tears, thinking, I will not let him destroy me or this child's future. Her heart still aches, but her mind begins forming a quiet plan. She will fight back, but carefully, piece by piece. 2 days later, Valerie visits a discreet medical clinic for her prenatal checkup. She walks inside alone. Nicholas hasn't even called to ask about her appointment. A wave of sadness threatens to overwhelm her, but she steadies herself. She's here for their baby. No matter what's happening in their marriage, in the waiting area, she checks her phone. No messages from Nicholas. Instead, there's a surprise text from Serena Wolf. Her best friend, I'm in town. Heard rumors. Are you okay? Valerie's throat tightens. She types back a brief reply asking Serena to meet at the clinic. She needs the support. Soon. Serena arrives, eyes brimming with concern. She hugs Valerie tightly before leading her into a quiet hallway. Talk to me, she pleads. Valerie exhales shakily, detailing the affair, the humiliations, the open disregard for her feelings. She explains how Nicholas's entire focus seems to be on his empire, his real estate expansions, new investor deals, and Christina's input on some grand marketing overhaul. He's shutting me out, but parading her around, she says bitterly. Serena listens, tears in her eyes. This is madness. Is he even thinking about the baby? Valerie gives a sad laugh. He's too busy burying any scandal that could affect investor confidence. I've become a liability, and I see it in his eyes. He wishes this pregnancy was just an item on a spreadsheet he could reorganize. Serena squeezes her hand. You don't have to endure this alone. If you need to step away, come stay with me. We can figure out a plan. Valerie's eyes fill with gratitude. Thank you. I might take you up on that. The support is a small flicker in a sea of darkness. For once, she feels a sense of safety, a reminder that not everyone in her life treats her like an accessory to a corporate brand. Shortly after, the nurse calls them in for the ultrasound. The monitor lights up, revealing the flutter of the baby's heartbeat. Valerie's breath catches pure wonder at the tiny life inside her. A tear slides down her cheek, a mix of joy and sorrow. This child deserves better. Serena gasps softly, smiling. That's incredible. Valerie, you're going to be an amazing mother. For a moment, Valerie feels strong again. The nurse updates her on the baby's healthy progress. Relief washes over her. At least her stress hasn't harmed the child so far. Outside, in the clinic's parking lot, Serena tries to persuade her again. Don't go back there. Let him handle his own guilt. But Valerie shakes her head, a steely glint in her gaze. I need to face this head on. I have to find a way to protect what's mine, my child, my own dignity. Running away won't stop Nicholas from controlling the narrative. That night, Valerie quietly searches through the penthouse office while Nicholas is out meeting investors. She suspects the investor meeting might be a cover for time with Christina, but she has bigger concerns now. She flips through files in a locked cabinet she once discovered the code. Inside, she finds documents that rattle her. Her heart hammers. This is no longer just an affair. Nicholas is orchestrating a future where Valerie stands to lose everything: her financial security, her independence. If she were to leave, or if something happened to her, he'd still come out on top. The scale of his betrayal is breathtaking. As she photocopies the documents, her mind whirls. She's grateful for Oliver Bennett's earlier offer to represent her if needed. She tucks the copies into a plain folder, sliding them into a tote bag. Then she notices another folder labeled Davenport Initiative. The sight of Christina's surname sets her nerves on edge. Opening it, she finds notes from meetings, some referencing personal confidential deals. She skims an email printout. We need to move fast. Full media control. minimizing Valerie's public appearances. A chill floods her veins. They're strategizing how to sideline her entirely. Tears of rage blur her vision. So this was the plan. Nicholas is ensuring the world sees him as the stable, admired billionaire with a new, younger partner, keeping Valerie tucked away until after the baby's birth, then discarding her with minimal scandal. That's the unsubtle subtext. She startles at the sound of footsteps outside. Quickly, she locks everything back, slipping into the hallway. The front door opens. Nicholas enters, scanning the room with mild suspicion. He's alone this time, and Valerie forces a neutral expression. "You're up," he says, voice laced with tension. She musters a slight smile. Couldn't sleep. She glances at the clock on the wall. Midnight. "Busy night," he nods vaguely. "Yes, very." His eyes linger on her face as though searching for signs of confrontation. She offers none. Instead, she turns away, heading to the bedroom. But inside, fury and heartbreak wage war. She wants to confront him outright, hurl the prenuptial draft in his face. Yet something Harmon said resonates. If Nicholas feels cornered, he'll do whatever it takes to protect himself. She needs a strategy. She needs help. Oliver's words come back. "I can represent your interests." She resolves to contact Oliver first thing in the morning. For now, she'll play it cool and keep her discovery secret. In bed, she wraps an arm protectively around her belly. She whispers to the child within, "I won't let him take away our future." The darkness feels oppressive, but a spark of defiance keeps her awake. She knows the path ahead is perilous, but she's determined to turn the tables on Nicholas Drake, even if it means dismantling the illusions of their entire marriage. Early the next morning, Valerie meets Oliver in a quiet cafe on the outskirts of the city. She shows him the copies of the prenup amendment, the life insurance policy, the property records. His face darkens as he reads. "I suspected he might try something, but this is extensive." Oliver mutters. He taps the Davenport Initiative folder. He's consolidating power. This goes beyond an affair. She nods, her nerves on edge. He's basically like staging a scenario where if I challenge him, I'm left with nothing. And if I step out of line, he'll use emotional distress or something similar to claim I'm not fit. I can't let that happen. Oliver exhales. All right, there's a legal route. If we document the affair, the malicious planning, we can build a case, but it'll be a fight. He's powerful, with top-tier legal teams. Valerie's gaze turns steely. He might be powerful, but this time, so am I. I won't be intimidated. They draft a plan. Step 1, secure evidence, including any proof of Nicholas's affair and financial manipulations. Step 2, safeguard Valerie's personal finances. Step 3, prepare for a public relations strategy. Oliver warns her, Nicholas will likely retaliate with everything he has. We need to stay a step ahead. Back at the penthouse, Valerie begins collecting personal items and important documents. She hides them off-site, renting a small storage unit under a friend's name. She's transforming from a betrayed wife into a woman on a mission, and it empowers her, even as the heartbreak lingers. One evening, she's on her laptop, double-checking account details, when she stumbles upon an email from Christina Davenport to Nicholas. The subject line, final terms. Her heart pounds as she reads. Christina is pressing for a timeline on making their relationship official, urging him to finalize the divorce arrangements so they can go public. Worse, she's claiming to be pregnant. Valerie's stomach twists. Another pregnancy. The email references a positive test. It's the ultimate blow. Not only is Christina vying to replace Valerie in Nicholas's corporate and personal life, but a child might tie them together permanently. Could Nicholas have impregnated his mistress while Valerie herself carries his baby beat? She closes the laptop, face pale. This changes everything. The stakes just got higher. If Christina truly is pregnant, Nicholas might be forced to choose which woman and which child to support publicly. A primal surge of protectiveness overtakes Valerie. She can't let her child be overshadowed by a cunning mistress who's already stolen her husband's loyalty. She calls Oliver immediately. We have a bigger problem, she says. voice trembling. Oliver's sigh resonates over the phone. Stay calm, Valerie. This might also shift public sympathy if it becomes a scandal. Nicholas can't keep two pregnant women hidden forever. We can use that. She hangs up, hands shaking, mind racing. This is no longer just about heartbreak or finances, it's a battle for the future of her unborn child. That weekend, Nicholas hosts a formal gala to celebrate a new international development project. Big donors, executives, and media personalities fill a luxurious ballroom draped in gold and black. Valerie stands at his side, donning a stunning evening gown that artfully conceals her growing bump. Despite the facade of unity, tension buzzes beneath every polite smile. From across the room, she spots Christina Davenport, also in an elegant dress, but with a slight curve to her abdomen that she didn't have before. Valerie's pulse pounds. Christina moves confidently, greeting board members like she's already the next Mrs. Drake. A wave of nausea hits Valerie, but she steadies herself. When Nicholas momentarily breaks away to greet a high-profile senator, Valerie seizes the chance. She crosses the room, intercepting Christina near the bar. Their eyes lock. "I assume your email was real," Valerie says bluntly, voice low to avoid a scene. "You're pregnant." Christina's gaze flickers with surprise. She stiffens her posture, refusing to look guilty. "Yes, Nicholas and it happened unexpectedly, but it's real." She places a protective hand on her abdomen, perhaps unconsciously mimicking Valerie's own maternal gestures. Valerie's anger simmers. "You think this is a game, bringing a child into a web of deceit?" Christina's expression hardens. "You're not the only one who's been lied to. Nicholas promised we'd be together. I didn't plan for this pregnancy. But here we are. I won't be discarded like some fling." Despite her fury, Valerie sees a flicker of genuine desperation in Christina's eyes. She wonders if the mistress also feels cornered by Nicholas's double talk. "If you think he won't turn on you the moment it benefits him, you haven't known him long enough," Valerie warns, voice shaking with years of experience. Christina's lips tighten. "Then let's see which of us he decides to keep. The one who upholds his image best. He's a billionaire. He can afford to shield me from scandal, and maybe he'll choose the younger mother for his heir." The words pierce Valerie's heart. For a moment, she's speechless. She wants to lash out, but she senses that would only feed Christina's confidence. Instead, she leans in. "Whatever he told you, we're still married, and I'm not signing any divorce on his shady terms. If you're counting on that, you'll be disappointed." She steps away, leaving Christina looking unsettled. Valerie's head spins. Everything is culminating in this swirling public facade. She retreats to the powder room, trying to calm the adrenaline surging through her veins. As she stands at the marble sink, she sees her reflection, a woman who's lost her illusions but gained a fierce determination. She remembers Oliver's words, "Someone hasn't played their final card yet." She's determined that final card will be hers, not Christina's or Nicholas's. When she exits, Nicholas is waiting. His face is taut with concern, or is it guilt? "You okay?" he asks, a shallow attempt at care. Valerie lifts her chin. "I'm here." Aren't I? Smile for the cameras. "Dear husband." The gala's main event begins a presentation on Nicholas's new project. The stage is set with a large screen featuring slides about a luxurious coastal development overseas. The crowd applauds politely as Nicholas steps up to the podium. Valerie stands off to the side, forced to maintain the smiling facade. Suddenly, the lights flicker. A new slide appears, not the polished marketing graphic everyone expects. Instead, it shows an email excerpt Christina Davenport writing to Nicholas, referencing their unborn child. Gasps ripple through the audience. The on-screen text is undeniable evidence of a personal affair tied to corporate dealings. Nicholas freezes, color draining from his face. He turns, looking for the AV technician in panic. "Cut the feed," he barks. But a second slide flashes references to hush money transfers and property deals. In mere seconds, the entire facade Nicholas built is in jeopardy. The room erupts with murmurs, phone cameras snapping, reporters pushing forward. Christina, near the stage, covers her mouth in horror. Valerie stands among them, equally stunned. She never planned a public exposure. Her strategy was to prepare a legal fight. So who orchestrated this? In the commotion, a figure steps up behind the tech console, Harmon Drake, Nicholas's younger brother. His face is resolute. This was his final card. He seizes the microphone. "I apologize for this interruption," he says, voice trembling slightly. "But the public deserves to know what kind of man is steering this project." Nicholas lunges forward, trying to yank the microphone away. Security intervenes, confusion swirling. Cameras flash, capturing every second. Harmon continues. Nicholas has manipulated not just corporate funds, but also personal relationships to secure this deal. His mistress is pregnant, while his wife stands here also bearing his child, unaware of the full extent of his betrayal. The collective gasp intensifies. Valerie's heart pounds. She sees Nicholas's fury, the betrayal etched in his features. But she also senses a wave of relief. The truth is no longer hidden. She didn't have to do it. Harmon did. Nicholas snatches a live mic. "This is slander. My brother has always been jealous. None of this is verified. I will sue anyone who perpetuates these lies." The scene is chaos. Sponsors begin whispering. Some guests leave in shock. Reporters rush to file stories. Christina tries to blend into the crowd, tears streaking her mascara. She's been exposed, too, in front of the city's elite. Valerie remains rooted, mind reeling. She locks eyes with Harmon across the room, silently asking why he offers a small nod, perhaps part apology, part grim acknowledgement. Nicholas's voice booms. "Valerie, tell them this is a farce." He beckons her to come forward, desperate to salvage his reputation. Her gaze scans the throngs of people. Every camera is aimed at her. For years, she's been the supportive partner, never contradicting him in public. But she can't lie this time. Slowly, she steps to the microphone. Her voice trembles. "I'm sorry," she says to the audience. "I can't defend him." After the explosive reveal, the gala dissolves into pandemonium. Security ushers guests toward the exits while journalists swarm. Valerie finds herself pushed into a side corridor, away from prying eyes. She's breathing hard, disoriented from the onslaught of flash photography and accusations. Suddenly, Nicholas bursts into the corridor, flanked by 2 bodyguards. Anger radiates from him like a furnace. "That was your plan," he snarls. "You orchestrated that ambush with Harmon." Valerie steadies herself against the wall, tears stinging her eyes. "I had nothing to do with Harmon's stunt. But after everything you've done, can you blame him?" Nicholas dismisses the bodyguards with a sharp gesture, then corners Valerie. His tone drops menacingly low. "You humiliated me in front of the entire city. If you think you're walking away with sympathy or a payout, think again." She bristles, back stiffening. "I only spoke the truth," she retorts. "The public needed to know who they're dealing with." He slams a fist into the wall, a burst of anger that makes her flinch. "You think that ends me? I still have alliances you can't imagine. I'll bury Harmon legally for hacking our feed. And you," he points a trembling finger at her belly, "you won't keep me from my heir. I'll fight for custody if I have to." Valerie's heart skips a beat. The idea of him leveraging their child as a tool in this war chills her. She raises her chin, though tears glisten in her eyes. "Do whatever you have to do, though, Nicholas. But your empire is crumbling. You've shown the world your lies." He exhales heavily, stepping back. She can almost see the wheels turning in his mind, calculating a new strategy. "We'll see about that," he says, voice subdued but loaded with threat. A sudden voice interrupts. Step away from her. Oliver Bennett strides down the corridor, followed by building security. He shoots Nicholas a pointed glare. "Let's not add assault charges to the list of headlines tonight." Nicholas's eyes flick between Oliver and Valerie, fury tangible. Finally, he turns on his heel and storms away, disappearing around the corner. Oliver approaches, placing a protective hand on Valerie's shoulder. "Are you all right?" The media outside is in a frenzy. Harmon's stunt might have been extreme, but it's powerful evidence. Valerie nods numbly. I just want to leave. I can't stay here another minute. They slip through a side exit. Cameras flash once more. Reporters shouting questions. Is Nicholas's mistress truly pregnant? Will you file for divorce? Did you help your brother-in-law sabotage the event? Oliver shields Valerie, guiding her into a waiting car. Inside, she sinks into the seat, emotions flooding her. Her child kicks gently, as if reminding her to keep going. She closes her eyes, inhaling. This confrontation might have ended, but a new storm is already brewing. Nicholas's threats echo in her mind. He's cornered now, and a cornered man with resources is dangerous. All illusions shattered. The final showdown is imminent. 2 weeks pass in a whirlwind of legal filings, public relations nightmares, and social media fury. Valerie stays in a small suburban house she rents under her maiden name, avoiding the paparazzi. She paces the living room, scanning the latest headlines on her phone. Billionaire Nicholas Drake faces corporate board revolt after affair scandal. Davenport's pregnancy. Confirmed Will Drake abandoned his wife. She sets the phone aside. It's a toxic deluge of rumors and half-truths. Oliver visits regularly, updating her on the legal front. The board is considering removing Nicholas as CEO, he says, sipping coffee at her tiny kitchen table. His father's old allies can't stomach the scandal. Valerie rubs her temples. I never wanted to destroy him like this. All I wanted was a genuine marriage. I guess that was never real. Oliver's voice softens. He did this to himself. Don't lose sight of that. Now it's time to finalize your stance. We can push for a divorce with significant alimony, especially given the unborn child. She nods, eyes flickering with sorrow. In custody arrangements, Oliver sighs. He'll fight, but with his meltdown and the proven affair, you have a strong case. The court won't ignore your stability, especially if we highlight his recent threats. Outside, a car horn sounds. Valerie checks her watch. It's Serena, arriving to help pack some belongings. She's decided to gather the last of her items from the penthouse, though the thought of returning there makes her stomach churn. When they arrive at the penthouse, the once grand space feels hollow. Nicholas is nowhere to be found. He's likely at his corporate headquarters, fighting to keep his position. Valerie methodically collects clothes, personal photos, and small mementos. She spots the baby's ultrasound pictures pinned to the refrigerator and carefully peels them off. She walks to the bedroom she once shared with Nicholas. Memories flood in late-night laughter, plans for the future, illusions of a loyal partnership. She stands at the edge of the bed, gazing at the place where she once felt safe. Serena quietly enters. Ready? She asks gently. Valerie pockets the ultrasound images. Almost. She heads into the walk-in closet, opening a hidden compartment behind Nicholas's suits. She retrieves the folder containing her copies of crucial documents. In this moment, she acknowledges how far she's come. She no longer trembles with fear. She feels a calm determination to protect herself and her child. As they're leaving, she spots a set of baby clothes on a chair, a gift from a friend, a soft onesie with Daddy's little star embroidered on the front. A lump forms in her throat. She can't bring herself to throw it away, but it's a reminder of the dream that's gone. She gently folds it, placing it in her bag. They exit the penthouse, handing the keys to Oliver, who will manage any final affairs. Valerie steps into the elevator, tears glistening in her eyes. She's choosing peace over revenge, choosing her own well-being and her child's future. There is no victory dance, no gloating, only a bittersweet acceptance of life's harsh truths. Little does she know, a final shock is about to emerge, one that threatens to reshape everything again. Valerie settles into her modest suburban rental, forging a new daily routine. Early morning walks, prenatal exercises, therapy sessions to rebuild her sense of self. Each day feels like a cautious step away from the turmoil. Then one quiet afternoon, a knock at the door interrupts her tranquility. She peeks through the window and is startled to see Christina Davenport on her porch, looking visibly distressed. Valerie's heart races as she unlocks the door, bracing herself for whatever confrontation might come. Christina's eyes brim with tears. She clutches a small folder to her chest. "Please, let me talk," she says, voice breaking. Valerie hesitates, then nods, stepping aside. Inside, they stand awkwardly in the living room. The tension is palpable. But Christina's demeanor is different. Gone is the arrogant confidence from the gala. She glances around, spotting baby items strewn about. The fragile humanness of the scene seems to unnerve her. She hands Valerie the folder. I needed you to see these." Valerie opens it, finding medical records. Christina bites her lip. "It's my prenatal file. The due date. Proof that Nicholas demanded I keep silent, even from the press." But that's not all. With trembling fingers, Christina flips to the next page, a paternity test result. Valerie's eyes widen, scanning the text. It states that Nicholas is not the father. A silent wave of shock hits her. "So, your child." Christina's face crumples. Tears slip down her cheeks. "I lied to Nicholas at first. I thought it was his, but the timeline didn't match. I was afraid. My relationship with him was so tangled, he promised me the world. And I was stupid enough to believe it." She inhales shakily. "When I realized the baby wasn't his, I panicked. Then everything came crashing down at that gala. So here I am, trying to set at least one thing straight." Valerie's mind reels. Nicholas's biggest fear, a public scandal fathering 2 children, was built on a false premise. She feels an odd relief and swirling anger at the same time. Does Nicholas know? Christina drops her gaze. "I told him a week ago, after the board threatened his removal. He called me pathetic, accused me of sabotage. Then he threw me out of the penthouse he rented for me. So yes, he knows." Valerie closes the folder gently. Part of her wants to blame Christina for everything, her marriage's destruction, the months of heartbreak. But she sees the broken, desperate woman in front of her all. This is what Nicholas does, uses and discards. Christina's voice trembles. "I'm sorry, Valerie, for all the pain I caused. I never planned for it to go this far. If it's any consolation, he betrayed me just as badly." Valerie's shoulders relax fractionally. She takes a steadying breath. "I appreciate you telling me the truth now." "What are you going to do?" Christina wipes her tears. "Raise my child alone and try to rebuild my life from scratch." She stands, heading toward the door, pausing at the threshold. She looks back. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I hope you can find peace after all this." She leaves, the door closing softly behind her. Valerie sinks onto the couch, folder in hand. A final puzzle piece clicks into place. Nicholas's entire empire of lies just lost its last crutch. Relief mingles with a hollow sadness, even with this revelation. The damage is done. 1 week later, Valerie stands outside the county courthouse, the crisp morning air tinged with tension. Oliver is by her side, holding a file of signed divorce papers. Today, she formally dissolves her marriage to Nicholas Drake. A swirl of mixed emotions grips her: sadness for the love that once was, lingering anger for the betrayal, but also a hopeful relief for a future without deception. She breathes in, steps forward. In the waiting area, she spots Nicholas, pacing like a caged lion. His eyes flick to her, a storm of regret and defensiveness swirling in their depths. Though he's lost his CEO title, he's still formidable, dressed in an impeccably tailored suit, posture rigid. Oliver inclines his head, giving Valerie a signal that everything is in order. When the court official calls their names, Valerie and Nicholas move inside. The proceedings are swift. The settlement, hammered out by both legal teams, grants Valerie a fair share that secures her child's upbringing. Custody is assigned to Valerie primarily, with supervised visitation rights for Nicholas pending further review. The judge's gavel falls. It's over. Outside the courtroom, Nicholas approaches Valerie. He looks exhausted, haunted by the downfall. For a moment, he seems almost human again. "Val," he says softly, "for whatever it's worth, I'm sorry, I never meant to lose us like this." She studies him, heart aching for the man she once believed in. But that man is gone, replaced by the echoes of betrayal. She offers a nod, not unkind. I hope you learn from this. Nicholas, I really do. Then she walks away, Oliver at her side. She steps out into the sunlight, tears threatening to spill. But these tears are different tears of closure, not despair. Oliver gives her a gentle pat on the shoulder. You did it. You're free. She nods, pressing a hand to her belly. Now it's just me and the baby. And that's okay. A week passes. Valerie finalizes her move to a quieter neighborhood near Serena's house. She sets up a nursery, painting the walls a soft lilac. Each stroke of the brush feels like a step toward healing. Late one evening, she stands alone in the nursery, running her fingers over a crib. She feels the baby shift inside her, a comforting flutter that grounds her in hope. She closes her eyes, remembering everything she's been through. The heartbreak, the lies, the public spectacle. She survived it all and found her inner strength. A faint knock on the door startles her. She opens it to find a courier with an envelope. The return address is from an offshore law firm. Confused, she signs for it and tears it open. Inside is a single letter with Nicholas's signature, offering partial ownership of an overseas trust fund for the child. There's also a cryptic note in his handwriting. This is my last gift to our son or daughter. I know I can never undo the damage I caused, but maybe I can give them a future I never had. If you read this, please understand, I did love you once. D. Her breath catches. A surge of conflicting emotions washes over her. Nicholas is gone from her life, but he's left behind an unexpected gesture, financial security that might also be an attempt at redemption. She clutches the letter, tears slipping free. She sinks into a rocking chair, the hush of the nursery embracing her. Outside, a soft wind rustles the trees, as though the world is telling her to keep going, to find peace.